All right, welcome back. This is M-Dog, and we're taking a look at the new update for RF4, Russian Fishing 4, if you're not familiar with it. That was loud. So we have had an update. It's a very interesting update. I guess overall it's light on content. There's a little bit, but light on content, but heavy on changes in some ways, I would say. So we're going to take a look at the patch notes, and then we're going to actually log in and see what some of these changes looks like. So that's the plan of this video. We're really not going to be doing any fishing, at least I'm not anticipating it. Especially for folks who maybe aren't actively playing RF4 but have played in the past and tend to come and go, I like to try to do these videos when there's changes just to kind of keep you informed, and if there's anything like worth sharing my opinion on, I'll certainly share it. But I did want to show this new splash screen. It looks beautiful. I actually love it. I can't tell where we are. Is this mosquito? No. Maybe. It's not the pond. Is it the pond? No. It's clearly not the pond. Okay, it most looks like Oldberg to me. But I'm trying to think where the camp is at Oldberg. Does it actually have this wooden thing? Anyway, regardless, let's go ahead and sign in here as we connect to the game servers. And then we're going to go ahead and check out these patch notes, which we can go ahead and do that while it's loading profile. It could take a little longer than normal since it's got this reset. All right, so here are the patch notes from today. I'm literally just going to read through these, and then we'll log in the game, kind of see what some of this looks like. On the reservoirs of Oldberg, Bear Lake, Amber Lake. Okay, so all three of these are what? Little more bottom-centric bodies of water at a variety of level ranges. There are automatic machines for mixing bait mixtures. To make bait in such a machine, you do not need a special skill, and any bait components are always in stock. Huge. I mean, that sentence is full of information, in particular because of what has often been the case in terms of stock and, needing certain skills for doing things. So that's a big deal, and we'll take a look at that in just a second. On the reservoir of Quarry, Tuba, and Tunguska, so three places that are more spinning-centric, although you can't really say that about Tuba. Tuba is a little bit of everything, but do notice that the lowest level place that this is true is Quarry. So this doesn't really affect low-level players. Like if I'm thinking about a leveling guide, I wouldn't have access to this until pretty far, down the process of the leveling guide. This is going to have the shops that are Homemade Lures, which you can buy Handmade Lures. So again, we'll check that out as well. Implemented the ability to make a lure without using hooks. That's great. I mean, that was always an annoyance, right? Because you're using those like cheap hooks to make the lure and then taking the hooks off and putting real hooks on, because if you fail it, you lost the hooks. Well, they've just taken that off. That makes sense to me. I think that's a good change. The UI for moving to another body of water has been redesigned. I'm actually excited about seeing that. I'm curious kind of what they did with that. I haven't seen any of this, by the way. We've logged in now, but, I haven't done anything yet. Implemented the ability to purchase perpetual, unlimited access to a reservoir. The purchase of such access removes the level limit and cancels the fee for moving to the reservoir. This is huge, okay? Now, we don't know the price yet. I don't know the price. I'm assuming this is a gold-only price. If it's silver, even more fascinating. But think about this. It removes the level requirement. That is amazing. More importantly to me, as someone whose main account is way high level, it removes the travel cost. If you end up with, let's say, two favorite maps, and you just know the type of fishing I do, these are my two favorite maps, just imagine the freedom of removing the travel cost for your two favorite maps. Bouncing back and forth, not paying those travel costs, especially when you're focused on making silver. We just got to see the cost. The cost could completely make all of it irrelevant if it's too expensive, but it's interesting. Restored the ability to communicate in all public chat channels. Good. I will say this. I tend to be pro-communication. I tend to be, I think transparency is good. I think communication is good. I think moderation is also good. But I think that people should have the right to communicate as long as they can communicate in respectful ways. And if they can't communicate in respectful ways, that the people who can't communicate in respectful ways should be penalized, not the entire community. I'm not saying that part of me doesn't understand why they initially made the change as they tried to get a game plan together and figure out what are we doing, but I'm glad that they're here now. Maybe even wish they would have gotten here sooner. A new home region has been added to the game, Italy. I don't know how many of you read that and get excited, because I initially did, but I think what they're talking about here is just a region. We're just talking about a new server, right? For folks that primarily speak Italian. Okay, so I want to come back to, well, no, we'll go ahead and read this. We'll read it quickly. This is just, I think this is an interesting note that the RF4 team decided to add because of this one here, to purchase perpetual. By the way, Fishing Planet, I'm not saying, I mean, I'm just saying that this is what it reminds me of. Fishing Planet, you can use the bait coins, which, by the way, in Fishing Planet, you can purchase those with real money, but you also can now do missions and quests to slowly build up your bait coins, and you can unlock permanent access to a reservoir. I'm not sure, because I don't play Fishing Planet that much, I'm not sure if you can do it if you're not high enough level to go there. I don't think you can, but I could be wrong. So it's a little different. I'm just saying that's what it reminded me of. With this recent update, we're reacting directly to common feedback that a lot of RF4's content is very hard for players that have limited time to play, very hard to reach. And that is very true, by the way. I have often told people, I love Russian Fishing 4. If you were looking for a fishing simulation that you can just get lost in, that's like a lifetime game, not just a this month game or even this year game, but I want to play this for a long time, you can't do better than RF4, in my opinion, with what's currently available. But it is not very arcadey, and it is not something you can just pop in and pop out of and get full enjoyment out of. As often when trying to make balancing decisions in a game with a very diverse audience, some of these changes are compromises. Totally true. I get that. The option to buy access to higher level water bodies will offer players a little more things to explore, but also bears the risk of being under-leveled. Absolutely. It is still the case that you level faster than you make silver. And so all this does is put someone, unless they're going to target small fish or fish that their gear can handle, and in some places that's easier than others, right? But unless they're going to do this, all this will do will increase that pressure to open up your wallet and purchase gear that you can't afford yet because you don't have the silver. But that's a personal decision. I wouldn't encourage people to do that. But so please use this function with caution. I think this warning is appropriate, by the way. I'm glad they're at least putting this in here. Targeting heavy fish with low-level equipment can lead to frustrating experiences or even breakage of rods and reels. At the same time, we do not want future water bodies to be locked behind a level wall that some players will never be able to overcome. Notice they said future water bodies. This might be the compromise that they're making so that the next water body they come out with really does require level whatever, 40 or whatever. I don't know. A natural progression through the game will always be the best option as you gather experience that will help you on more demanding water bodies. If you're short on time and decide to visit a water body early, make sure you use our official platforms or the many helpful communities out there. Thank you, RF4. To gather some tips and tricks. Tight lines, RF4. Okay, there's the patch notes, folks. Now, where are we? Tunguska. Isn't this one of the places? So we're going out of order. Is that okay? We're going to check out the lure machine first. Remember, this was Cory, Tuba, and Tunguska. So, the lure store. Where do you think they're hiding it? This is probably one of the hardest places to find it because Tunguska is an absolute mess in this town, like where everything is. And I don't necessarily mean that in a bad way. I'm just saying there's so many nooks and crannies. I just kind of want to run into it, you know. There's the vending machine, hardware store, workshop. Didn't they show us a picture of what this was going to look like in advance, or at least some of them? Okay, here's this store where you get the alcohol and the special lures here. Let's make sure it's not in here. Nah. It might just be out front. I didn't really look thoroughly out front because my first guess was like, oh, it's going to be back here somewhere, but they might have put these things front and center. Alright, we're over here at the main tackle store. I mean... Alright, so let's make sure... I guess it could be down here by the... I just don't see anything new. It wouldn't be by camp, would it? Alright, let me make sure... Yeah, it says Tunguska. Shop's called Handmade Lures. Alright, I just haven't found it yet. This is just the place where you buy boat tickets, right? Alright. Oh, it's here. Is this it? No, it's a grocery store. I forgot that was the grocery store. I don't know that I've ever spent time at the grocery store at Tunguska. Alright, so here's the cafe. Could it be just past the cafe? Alright, so this is concerning. Now, I don't know if this is an M-Dog issue as I speak about myself in the third person, or if they have hidden this somewhere that maybe is a little hard to find. There's the ATM. So it did say stores. I'm not sure that I actually like looked at all the doors. All right, that's the admin. Oh, here it is. All right, Handmade Lures. Here we go, folks. Ooh, it's gold only. All right, is anyone surprised? I'm not surprised. I was hopeful that there would be some silver options. This is very cheap. But it's still gold. What do you think the most expensive thing's going to be? So far, 79.79 gold. Oh, 0.05 gold. By the way, these are just so easy to make. So 0.79 gold. Okay, do we test one? I hate to spend gold on it when I can make it, but do we test one so we see like what... Wait, does it say what... What condition's it going to be? You know? Okay, so we need to... Alright, let's do this. Let's see, which one do we want to do? I need to do this in such a way that... oh, they have all of them in one. I got you. That's how they have it organized. Oh, it does go up. Okay, so the biggest balsa minnow is almost 1 gold. We were just looking at the... It makes me feel like the jerk baits. Yeah, almost 1 gold. Yeah, so it looks like nothing is over 0.99 gold. Alright, how are we going to test this? Let's get the... Let's see, the most popular one is this one. And I have 5 in my backpack. 75F006. Alright, so this is what we're going to do. This will be a very popular one for people to get, I feel like. 75F006. I'm going to favorite all of them. Okay, so all 5 are favorites. The reason why I'm doing this is when we buy one, it will not, and let's go ahead and put hooks. We'll just put some like cheap 8 hook on here. When we buy one, it will not have a favorite on it. So that's how we'll determine which one it is, okay? So we're doing this for science. Oh, just for you guys, I'm going to spend a little gold on this. I still have gold from the last, not the last time it was on sale, like 2 or 3 times ago when it was on sale. So, all right, let's get one. We have 5 in the backpack. Let's get one. All right. So, since it costs gold, to be honest, I kind of hope that it's a 10 out of 10. But there's no telling. All right, where are they? Here's the one we just bought. It came... Oh, it is 10 out of 10. And it came with nice hooks, right? The Zenith U1 treble. I think those are pretty nice. Zenith U1 treble. Well, okay. So if that's 100%, it's going to be 10 out of 10. That's a good thing. I think what I wish they had done was either make it where you could get a little bit lower quality for silver, even if it was super expensive, or some of the cheaper lures that frankly just are pretty easy to level up enough to make, those should just be silver in my opinion. But I kind of knew it was going to be gold only, right? All right, so these are Zenith U1 treble, whatever size. They're not the best. I mean, they're 5-star, right? They're not the best hooks in the world, but they're 5-star hooks. So you don't mind those being on there. And it's also kind of cool. This is the first time you've been able to purchase a handmade lure to see what's the official stock size hooks. Looks like it's 1/0. 1/0. All right. So there you go. Okay. So let's now go to... This is our first time looking at the map system. All right, here we go. All right. I guess the first thing we're going to do is see how much unlimited access costs. All right, the most expensive right now is Yama, which costs 29.9. Lower Tunguska is 24.9. Octuba, that's cheaper, 19.9. Arch is 18.9. And remember, Arch is... Oh, have they changed? This is cheaper to travel to now, right? Okay, somebody's going to have to help me. Did they lower the prices? Maybe not. Yama was always 100 silver. Why did I think Archipelago was more expensive than that? 18.9, 16.9 for Amber. I mean, for me, is that worth it? It's probably not worth it. 16 gold, a one-time 16 gold. Maybe if gold goes on sale really cheap again, which I think they have a standard sale price now. In other words, it's not typically really cheap. So anyway, 16.9, 16.9, 14 for Sura, 14 for Seversky, 11 for Volkov, 9 for Bear, 9.9, 6.9 for Corey, 2.9 for Belaya, 2.9 for Old Berg, and then there's no travel, so there's no option there. All right, let's travel to Old Berg. Do we unlock it? Nah, let's just pay and travel. Let's go look at the... So I probably won't purchase ground bait out of the ground bait machine because we're just going to assume it's also going to be 10 out of 10. Like what they did with the lures will also be true of the ground bait. But I want to see what recipes are available or how creative you can get with recipes. All right. Workshop, hardware store, grocery, fish market, cafe, administration. Oh, this is the little feeder machine. Okay. Oh, you can make PVA. All right, so let's say we were doing corn flour and let's say we were going to do I'm just trying to add like the full amount of ingredients. Where are normal ingredients? Oh, here we are. All right. So for a 20 gram, one stack, 0.25 gold. I don't know. For me, it's hard to think about spending gold on ground bait or PVA. I guess it just depends. All right, so for barbel mix, 0.04. I mean, that is getting really cheap. I'll give you that. But everything adds up, right? All right, so what about... .4 for a full batch of homemade ground bait? I just don't know. Anyway, they're going to be 10 out of 10, right? You can also do dry mix if you want a spod or a PVA stringer, which, I don't know, 0.05 for the white bream mix. Okay, I mean, it's an option, right? Can't complain about there being an option. Okay, so that's pretty much it. I mean, have we covered everything? I think we have. All chat channels are now unlocked is the other piece. Okay, so let me know what you think about this update. Options is always fine. I just hope that people use good wisdom in deciding on how to spend their gold or if they want to spend gold at all. I also just think that going to a higher body of water before you've leveled yourself and purchased enough gear to go there. Are there some exceptions to that when it could be okay? Sure. There are some exceptions. I know that Amber's going to be a place that people want to unlock early, and if you're into spin fishing, there's other places that you're going to want to unlock early. And in certain situations, I can see that being viable, right? Depends on how like committed you've been to saving and getting certain gear that would allow you to do that. But you got to be careful. You got to be careful, not just always opening up your wallet. So, but you can't, I mean, to me, it's like, it's fine to have options like that as long as, you know, full disclosure to your player base on what they potentially are getting into. All right. Well, that's the video. Let me know what you think. I'll keep processing and thinking about it, and maybe we'll do a follow-up video. But I just wanted to get this out here and just kind of let you know what's going on and, yeah, what they've got. So, as always, thanks for watching. Tight lines. Until next time.